Hey, what's up? It's Navasha and welcome back to the channel. We're just gonna hop into it. Let's start, shall we? Let's talk about how I got fired from this particular beauty retailer, huge beauty retailer, one of the biggest beauty retailers in the US. All right, we just gonna leave it there. Okay, we're gonna take it back to COVID. We're gonna go back to the pandemic. What a time. I'm not looking at y'all just because I'm getting my stuff together, okay? Don't do too much. Respectfully, the pandemic was a crazy, overwhelming time for a lot of people, and it was very disheartening. But if we talk about my personal situation, 2020 wasn't that bad for me. I still traveled, like I didn't lose anyone close to me, thank God. It was a trying time still, but like it was more so mentally for the people around me and myself. There was a little bit of financial hardships because obviously, you know, people was out of work for a little minute, but like I didn't have any like extremely detrimental things happen to me, you know, thank God for that. But this is the beginning of 2020. Feel me? Feel me? Okay, we're talking like January 2020. At this time, I'm a cosmetology student somewhere in Georgia. We're gonna leave it there. I'm a cosmetology student somewhere in Georgia, and at this time, I know for a fact, I just don't care about cosmetology. Like, I don't care about hair. I don't care about makeup. I don't care about it. I legitimately do not care about it. What I do care about, though, is skin. I've always been a skincare girly since I was young. I used to be in the beauty supply stores getting, like, the vitamin E oil. You know, the real cheap oils. But, like, I was into skin since back then, right? So now I'm at a different phase in my life, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm about to go to school for this, for real, because, you know, why not, right? I find a program near me, and I enroll in school. I'm in cosmetology school. This is the beginning of January. The semester is going on, and I'm just honestly, I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. We'll see how this goes. But my plan was, because during that time, there wasn't just a specific aesthetics program. There was always like you can learn about skin, but you're going to learn about this, and that too. And I didn't care about the other things. I just wanted to know more about skin. I put my thinking cap on, and I'm like, well, you know, let me go get a job somewhere that will have me involved in like the beauty world. And at least I have a foot in already in the door. And then I can, you know, just do that while I'm going to school, and then, you know what I'm saying, get my license. And then, you know, if I still want to stay there, then I will. But if not, at least I'll have some experience, maybe some clients. You know what I'm saying? Just turn the lemons into lemonade, okay? There's a beauty supplier around the corner from me, right? So I'm like, I bet I'm just gonna do that. I'm just gonna apply and see if they let me do it. I apply, I get the job. Hip hip hooray. It's still January. So around, let's say like MLK Day or weekend or something like that, I knew for a fact I was in communication with them around that time. The lady, who I do not remember her name, and that's probably for the better, she was like, okay, well, at this particular moment, I don't have any hours to really like give you right now. However, we will be needing somebody. So what I'm going to do is hire you now. We're going to get your training and whatnot out the way, but it just may be a little bit more of like a slower pace, which worked well for me because I'm still in cosmetology school. And at the time, school is literally from 8 o'clock in the morning to like 3:30 in the afternoon. Like my whole day gone. And I live about 45 minutes away from said school. So I'm like, okay. Like, I'm really not upset about that. Long as I can, you know, get on the schedule maybe once a week, once or twice a week, I'm not tripping, because it's not like I'm about to get my license tomorrow. Okay, cool, that's fine. A couple more weeks go by. Like, we're in communication, but I haven't worked a full like a day yet, or even a training shift yet. Beginning of February time frame, I come in, I do my paperwork, like the onboarding paperwork, right? Come in, I do my onboarding paperwork. I got my license, you know, you got to bring your license, 2 forms of ID, this, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. I've done that. So she's just like, okay, we're going to keep in contact with you, and we'll let you know, you know, when you can come, like once we get like a decent training schedule for you and things like that. Bet. All right, bet. My bad, y'all. That sounds great. I'm still going on with school. Everything, the world is still very normal. The world is still normal before COVID, so BC. I get a phone call. She's like, hey, can you come in these 2 days for these, like, maybe 2 or 3 hours, blah, 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 blah. Fine. So, mind you, y'all, I'm still a regular, like, employee at the time because, again, I don't have any, like, credentials to get paid anything higher. So, think regular sales associate, person helping you on the floor, and, like, behind the cash register, right? Not manager, not nothing like that. That happened maybe a good 3 times. Now, and it wasn't consistent. It wasn't like once every week I was going in. It wasn't really like consistent enough to be like, oh, I was coming in and then all of a sudden everything stopped. But when everything did stop was when COVID happened. All right, so I worked maybe 3 training shifts. I'll even say 4 just for shits and giggles. So, not working a lot of shifts, very inconsistent communication. It is what it is though, right? And it's kind of working to my benefit because, again, I got other stuff going on. Like, I got stuff literally taking up my whole day. Long as when I do come in, I get paid for that. You log that. Okay. So then, boom, y'all. Boom. COVID happened. COVID literally happened during the time that I went on spring break. And so we got released from school. I know it was a weekend that COVID actually happened because that whole following week, we was out. Like, it was already spring break. So we got released from school. I think it was a Thursday. Then again, mind you, I'm driving 45 minutes there and back. Okay, and back. We get released from school. Everybody excited because it's spring break. Bet, leave us alone. So then we get a text message. We get a text message by like that Monday. Like, hey, given the world events and the current events that's happening right now in the world, we're going to let you all know about returning back to campus. So we like, what? Girl, what does this even mean? We like, all right, cool, you know, whatever. An extra long spring break, great. Because I'm going to be honest. Like I said, I already didn't really want to do it. But I was doing it because a part of the curriculum was skin, and at the time there was no specified aesthetics programs that wasn't like sketchy. Like, I felt like they was trying to take my money, or like the website was weird, the reviews are bad. I know I look crazy, y'all, just trust the process. The reviews on the website looks bad, the website itself looks bad. I was like, you know what, again, Navasha Turn Lemons into Lemonade official. Just was like, all right, cool. If that's what I got to do to get at least something I want out of it, I'll just make sure that I made some friends that are hairstylists or barbers or whatever, just networking, right? Boom, COVID happened. We get the text, hey, we're going to let y'all know if we're going to come back to campus or not. Y'all, I think by that like Wednesday, they was like, we're not coming back to campus. And we was like, this is cosmetology school. So how exactly are we about to do work? Like, how exactly are we about to do work, honey? We got mannequin heads, we got clippers, we got flat irons, we got curling irons. It's a certain amount of like things we have to do. We got to do perms, we got to do relaxers. Like, it's a lot that we have to account for, and it's hours based. So like, what are we actually going to do here, guys? They like, oh, from here on out, you guys will be moving to online. And that becomes the bane of my school career. I don't mind an online class. I don't need to be in a class to necessarily learn, right? I don't mind an online class. But trying to become a cosmetologist online just added that extra layer of, is tediousness a word? Where my phone at? With a mannequin head, cutting hair, gotta record myself, upload the video to the school's website, but the website is crashing because now the whole school is online. It's one thing to get the assignment done, it's a whole nother task to turn it in on time. And let's hope you pass. And we still have theory, so we still got to be present and online in class for a certain amount of hours. And then we have assignments that have to be turned in by that day. And then we still have book theory. So there's still online assignments with the online textbook now. And we still have to like do those assignments on top of the actual demonstration videos. And then on top of sitting in class, I wasn't getting done with schoolwork till about 7 o'clock at night. Very new to us at that time because it's just like, you want me to do what? Boom. I'm like, bruh, I do not want to do this shit no more. Let's go back to the beauty retailer. I'm so wrapped up in this, I low-key forgot I even had a situation. But one thing I did not forget is that, I mean, the situation as in like a job. But one thing I did not forget was the fact that they said, we'll be contacting you. This was before COVID. We'll be contacting you. So at this point, I don't have a set schedule yet. I'm not just walking in there. You have to let me know what days you want me to come in, because remember, Miss Ma'ams was like, I don't necessarily have the hours for you at this time, but there'll be an opening in the following weeks to come, and I want you to have this position. So we'll go ahead and onboard you, aka meaning I already have a job. You're gonna understand why I'm getting so passionate about this in a second. Boom, COVID happened, right? Everything is shut down. Everything is shut down. Only thing that's not shut down at this time in Georgia is like gas stations, grocery stores, you know, what they call them, essential workers, hospitals, things like that. Everything else is shut down. Lights off, ain't nobody home. Let's just see how this goes. I'm giving them a little, keep in mind now, I'm giving them a little bit of grace, because if nobody's at the store, you know, how they gonna call me? You get what I'm saying? How they gonna call me? All my information and all my things are at the physical store. So if the store is not open, if everything is shut down for business according to what the governor said, okay, there's no real way that they can really like contact me, at least in the first couple of days. And then I'm so wrapped up in school, so I'm really just waiting to hear at this point. I'm stressing, I'm going through it, mentally jacked up, but I'm really just waiting to hear from them, right? Because I'm not gonna say it's the world's first time in a pandemic, but it's my first time in the pandemic. So we just, you know what I'm saying? We just kind of playing it by ear. And I don't hear nothing from these folks. These folks as in the beauty retailer, and like the hiring manager, the assistant manager, probably one more other person like below those two, maybe like the team leader or something like that. But I don't remember so much about the GM, so I'm not gonna say that. Me not going to school all day, I'm legit in my laptop all day. I don't have real time or real, like I'm not even paying like real attention to what's going on. Also doing, y'all don't, I'm also doing like Forex on the side. We all out here trying to get to the money. So boom, I'm doing a little bit of Forex on the side. I'm just getting into it. I'm just getting started. So like, I'm not seeing a whole lot of like return, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. We just gonna see. I'm like, all right, I haven't heard anything from these women in a minute. And anytime I do go outside during the day, like anytime I am going outside during the day, probably just go get some groceries real quick. I ride past there, ain't nobody home. Lights off, okay. All right, you know, whatever. Ain't nobody call me. Anytime I go by, lights is off. Cool. This matters to the story, I promise. When like on the weekends or something, when I'm not like immersed with school, I'll go to like my friend's house, you know what I'm saying? You know, supposed to be social distancing, but we wasn't. I'm gonna be 1,000. We wasn't. I'll go to my friend's house and we'll go over there and kick it, watch movies and all those things. You know, just doing real COVID-like activities. Because, you know, COVID kind of did bring everybody back together. So one day I'm looking for my license. I'm like, where is my license? I can't find it. I'm not a person to really lose things. I may misplace it. Meaning I may have overthought like, okay, I'm going to leave this here because I know I'm going to pass it again. And I'm going to grab it when I need it for that. Like I'll do little things like that to set myself up, right? Just whatever, girl. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, just me being weird. I will just forget where I left it or misplace it. Okay, cool. I'll give it a couple days. It's not necessarily like I'm going far or anywhere. Like, I don't gotta go to school. My job is shut down, right? I should be good. I cannot find it after like a good week. At this point, let's just go ahead and go get another license, because like I don't got time to, like, be playing. This is still Georgia, and I'm not trying to mess around and get caught up with GSP. This is now like April. At this point, I'm just like, I don't really know what's going on with this job. A lot of people don't know what's going on with their jobs. So until I get really like a call, there's literally nothing I could do. Like, yeah, sure, call corporate, and they say what? There's literally nothing I could do about it. At this point, I'm leaving it in God's hands. Now it's towards like the end of April. I get an email, which I still have, by the way. If I can put it up, I'm gonna put it up. I get an email, and the subject is exit survey or something like that in the subject. And I'm like, boom, boom. It's from the beauty retailer. The date is April 22nd, 2020, 12:26 p.m. So it says, dear such and such, blank, 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 blank. Would like to give you the opportunity to share your honest opinions about the organization by completing an exit survey. What you found valuable and what we can improve. The rest of the email is just like, you can access the survey by clicking the link below. Please complete the survey as soon as you can. It will take approximately 5 to 10 minutes. Your responses of this survey will be completely confidential. The input you provide is extremely valuable and will help the organization understand the strengths, weaknesses of our work environment. If you have any questions about this initiative, please send an email to blankety-blank-blank-blank-blank-blank.com. Sincerely, blankety-blank-blank-blank-blank-blank. To my surprise, 1 + 1 is equal to 2 in my head. I'm like, Raggy? Did I just get fucking fired? Huh? All right. I'm like, give me a second. So I go to my roommate. I read this, friend, and tell me what you think this, like, tell me, am I dragging it? Read it. And she's like, nah, that's an exit survey. They're asking you to do an exit interview because they legitimately just like fired you. But she was like, I thought you haven't heard anything from them for weeks. I said, exactly, friend. I haven't heard nothing from nobody. I can't call the store because we not open. The only thing I could really have done was probably call like corporate, and possibly they could have got me in contact with somebody, right? Cool. They would have got me in contact with the store. Corporate is not finna give out like personal information about the employees. My thing is, like, you don't have no grounds to fire me though. It's not like you caught me on camera stealing boxes. I wasn't even in the building. The building wasn't even open. What did I even do? How did I even get fired? What in the world is actually going on in the world legitimately right now? It's not like the job was going to be missed, but I'm curious, like, how y'all tell me that y'all gonna hit me back up about putting me on the schedule more consistently, and then COVID happens, and then I can't get in contact with y'all, and then y'all send me a motherfucking exit survey? Y'all can't even hit my line? In a way, that was probably them thinking that they were being professional about it. But like, before somebody hop down in the comments and be like, oh, well, that was them being professional about it, they can, they can just fire you. I know jobs can just fire people if they don't want them to be there no more. But what I was shocked by was that I wasn't even there. Like, there's no real grounds to fire me. Unless she could probably be like, well, I didn't have the hours to really give you, or, whatever the case is. You could spend it like that. You could. And, I don't know the Georgia Department of Labor laws and whatnot, line for line. I don't. But what I'm saying is, like, I was just not feeling that. I didn't like it at all. I'm still technically in school because the semester hasn't ended and I've already made the decision. Like, you know what, when the semester ends, I'm not coming back. Like, because I'm just not a quitter like that. I ain't want to leave in the middle of the semester. And it's crazy because I was doing pretty good for someone who didn't want to be a cosmetologist. Like, I had all A's. That's important, you know what I'm saying, as an adult. But while I'm looking at this email, I'm like, nah, I'm about to fight this. So I used the email at the bottom of the email to reach back out. No response. Okay, no response. Just taking a shot. I called the store. Ain't nobody picking up. I'm like, okay, all right, fine, cool, whatever. Keep in mind, y'all, I still don't have, during this whole time, I still don't have my license and got a whole new license, but I never found my license. Sometime maybe like end of May, something click in my head like, hey, go pick up your checks. And I was like, wait, right. Something click in my head, hey, go get your money. Actually, I called first, then they pick up. And then I'm like, okay, I'm calling about my checks. And they're like, oh yeah, we got your checks ready, da 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 da. I roll up, y'all, they's open. They ain't get a girl no phone call, no nothing. They is open. And not saying that they owed me that at that point because they had already sent me like the exit survey, so I know. But I'm just saying, like, wow, like slowly things are starting to become back open in Georgia, but like they is open. They're telling me they got the check, so I roll up. I'm like, wow, the lights is on. I ain't seen this place open in so long, but you know, who am I, whatever. I pull up, and when I pull up, you know, it's a bright sunny day in May. The world back up, and the world just feels like it's lighter, right? Lady come back out with 3 envelopes. And then on top of the envelopes, there go my license, y'all. There go my damn license, y'all. She's like, yeah, you left your license too. And she said it with like a little bit of attitude, like, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm really shook at this point. I'm like, oh my God. And she's like, yeah, you left your license too. And I'm like, really? Why didn't y'all call and say nothing? She didn't have anything to say. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then we pull, like, you know, I pull off, I get my checks, whatever. I go cash them things. I think I went out of town directly after that too. So right after that, I go straight to the bank, deposit the check. But like, again, valid question. Why didn't y'all call me and tell me I left my license? You don't think I would have needed my license? And y'all had it since I did onboarding back in like what, February? And then I went and got a new one maybe like the beginning-ish of March. I don't remember, y'all. I ain't gonna front. It is a little hazy. This happened over 5 years ago. So like it is a little hazy, but everything I'm saying, I'm so like serious about. Like they had my license the whole time and didn't say anything to me about it. And then fired me. And me having my license there, you would think they would be like, okay, well, she does have her license here, so let's go ahead and let her know. And you know what I'm saying? At the same time, possibly let her know that we don't want to, we're going to go in a different route. Like, what was the problem with that? Professionalism just was not at that store, which is what I'm really trying to like stress here. It wasn't a lot of professionalism there, which I didn't really pick up on, right? Until obviously I got the survey, the exit survey. And I'm like, this doesn't make any like real sense though, y'all. Like a few times that I did have a shift, because I wasn't constantly there, I didn't always see the same person. So like I talked to a girl one time, and you know, it's just like typical customer service stuff. Like she wasn't telling me like, don't work here, it sucks. Like she wasn't saying those things. And you could tell she kind of did still like her job a little bit, but like, you know, manager, I'm not going to say racist, but it was a lot of like microaggressions, aka racist. Okay. But like, nah, she did have a few microaggressions that I peeped. And also because like, respectfully, y'all just be 1000. I look 12, right? I look like a kid, look innocent. I will go ahead and say that. Oh, as great as that is, people do try to like little girl me in places of business and whatnot. And then when I actually get to talking, and they realize like, oh, how old are you? Exactly. But don't do that, because honestly, I just look like this. Okay. I just look like this. Not everybody in the workforce is going to be cool. You are going to have those managers and bosses who just don't, you know what I'm saying? They're not the most pleasant people to be around, but that's just the position they have at the company. And if the company feel like they can do their job without necessarily causing a bunch of disgruntled employees or just a bunch of malice in the work environment, they're going to keep them. That's just the facts. Now it's still COVID, so the PPP is popping. Everybody doing Forex. Everybody collecting unemployment. Like, it's money to be made, legally or illegally. I'm not saying I was trying my hand at everything, but I did try to do unemployment because I was fired. Like, I was let go hanging on a limb. It wasn't like, oh, I was let go because I had certain write-ups or things like that. Oh, they was let go because COVID happened. Like, they can't pay people, da-da-da-da. She already told you that she may or may not have hours and whatnot for you, but that was back in January. We didn't know COVID was getting ready to shut down the world the way it did. And even then, I just felt like some sort of conversation could have been had with me, especially when you had my license. Like, come on. If I didn't call and ask about my checks, you was legitimately just gonna let my license and my checks sit there? So, yeah, y'all, I tried my hand at the unemployment. That didn't work. It wasn't in the cards for me, okay? God was like, no. I wasn't even living in Atlanta at the time. I done made 2 trips to Atlanta. We outside. I go to Hawaii for a whole month in November. I moved in 2020. So, like, it was... I don't know which one to choose because they both, like... I have to use this other highlighter from Merit. I've been using this. It's called Bounce. This is a very, like... Look at that. Oof. I've always used this as like my base highlighter because I love highlight. I use this like on the base highlighter, and then I put another highlighter on top, and it eats. I tried to go for unemployment, and God was like, no. Like, I did a whole appeal and everything, and I actually got like a little lawyer and all that for it. It legit was trying to make it seem like, oh, I quit it, and I quit, and that's why I couldn't get unemployment, when no, you all were supposed to contact me back, and I was waiting on you all, and I reached out to y'all, and magically y'all was there to pick up the phone, and once I wanted my checks, like, that wasn't, child, I don't know, it could be obviously multiple things. I'm not pressed about it now, but it was just a very frustrating situation during that time because, like, y'all, the world is a whole bunch of changes going on, and y'all want to go and do some shit like that. Like, you don't need a lot. She is pigmented. The good thing is it's like a blush and a highlight, so long as you know how to apply it, you won't end up looking like a clown. I cannot find any. I'm talking about any of my lip liners right now. Just kidding, found one. We're gonna go black. Earrings, pearls, pearls, earrings. I've been doing pearls a lot lately, so we can throw a little hoop in. I don't mind. Okay, yeah, y'all, that was a story. That's what happened to me during COVID. I know several other people probably have, if not the same story, similar stories just about being laid off in general during COVID. But what I will say, no tea, probably all shade, that, you know, this particular beauty supplier, my story isn't the only story I heard something negative about their hiring process. and just working with them and their the type of work environment that they provide. I've also heard that from other people. I've heard that from other people who at the time had no loyalty to me. They don't know me from a can of paint. And we just so happened to get into this conversation, and they've said the same thing about that particular beauty supplier's work environment. Like, they don't like it. And you know, I'm not here to say this nor that. I'm just here to tell my experience, girl. So I hope this was a cute little key for y'all. I can figure out in the comments if y'all want to try to figure out in the comments who it is. I will not be I will not be confirming or denying. Slowly getting back into my YouTube bag, okay? So y'all just work with me. Life has definitely been lifing for sure, but it's all good because you can't shake me. You know what I'm saying? Navasha turn lemon into lemonade official. That's what y'all need to understand. So thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.